Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. So in this class we are going to see 12th standard botany chapter 2 classical genetics. In this video we are going to learn some extensions of Mendelian genetics. So with respect to that we are going to see gene interaction. In gene interaction in this video we will see about intragenic gene interaction. So what are extensions of Mendelian genetics? So Mendel have done various crosses like monohybrid, dihybrid and trihybrid crosses. And there are several exceptions to the Mendelian principles. That is the occurrence of different phenotypic ratio. The same cross when it is done with some other plant it would show different kind of phenotypic ratio. So these different complex patterns of inheritance are the extensions of Mendelian genetics. So there are examples where phenotype of the organism is the result of interaction among the genes. So this will be studied under gene interaction. Usually a single phenotype is controlled by more than one set of genes, each of which has two or more alleles. This phenomenon is called gene interaction. That is, one phenotype controlled by more than one set of genes, and each of the genes have two or more alleles. So many such genes interact to bring about a single phenotypic effect. So this process is called gene interaction. Many characteristics of the organism, including structural and chemical, which constitute the phenotype, are the result of interaction between two or more genes. Mendelian experiments prove that a single gene controls one character. Usually a single gene controls one character in case of Mendelian experiment. Whereas the post-Mendelian findings, various exceptions have been noticed. That is, they have noticed gene interaction. So several genes interact with each other to bring out a single phenotypic effect. So this gene interaction concept was introduced and explained by Bateson. This concept is otherwise known as Bateson's factor hypothesis or factor hypothesis. According to Bateson factor hypothesis, the gene interaction can be classified as intragenic gene interaction or intraallelic gene interaction, or the second type, intergenic gene interaction or interallelic or non-allelic interaction. So here they have given a flow chart to show the gene interaction. So the gene interaction can be allelic interaction or non-allelic interaction. So in allelic interaction there are different types: dominant relationship, complete dominance, incomplete dominance, codominance, overdominance, and a lethal gene concept and multiple allele concept in case of intragenic. So we will learn a few of these types in detail. And intergenic gene interaction or interallelic gene interaction or non-allelic interaction, you have two different: epistasis and polygenic interaction. We will be learning this intergenic interaction in the next video. So in this video we will learn about intragenic gene interaction. So the interactions take place between the alleles of same gene, that is allele at the same locus. Locus is nothing but the point of presence of gene is referred to as the locus. So such kind of interactions are referred to as intragenic or intralocus gene interaction. So interaction that takes place between alleles of same gene. So under this you have different types: incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple alleles, and pleiotropic genes are the common examples for intragenic interaction. First we are going to see incomplete dominance. So in Mendel's crosses we have seen they are law of dominance and all. So one is going to be dominant, one is going to be recessive. So this is incomplete dominance. But here also there is no blending of genes. So this incomplete dominance experiment was done by a German botanist Karl Korens in 1905. So in his experiment on Mirabilis jalapa plant, so it is referred to as 4 o'clock plant. So the pure breeding homozygous red plant is crossed with homozygous white plant. So the pure breeding homozygous red R1 is crossed with the pure breeding white R2. The phenotype of the F1 hybrid is pink color. So when red and white is crossed, it developed a pink color plant R1. This F1 phenotype differ from the parental phenotype. So if it is law of dominance, that is Mendel's monohybrid cross, in F1 he would have got only the red flower. So because red is the dominant, so in F1 he would have got red flower, but it is not, it is an extension of Mendelian, it is intragenic interaction. Here you could see when red and white flower are crossed in F1 generation, the phenotype here that Karl Korens got is a pink flower. So it is not similar to that of the parental homozygous phenotype red or white, so it is different. So this cross did not exhibit the character of the dominant parent, but it had an intermediate color called pink. So when one allele is not completely dominant to another allele, it shows incomplete dominance. A very important point. So when one allele is not completely dominant, so that's why it is referred to as incomplete dominance. And such allelic interaction is called incomplete dominance, and F1 generation produce intermediate phenotype pink colored flower. So let's see in detail the cross. So when pink colored plants of F1 generation were interbred. So first what they are doing, parental generation, red flower is crossed with the white flower. In F1 generation they have got the pink flower. When the pink flower was interbred among themselves, in the F2 generation they could see both the phenotypic and genotypic ratios are identical. So in F2 usually you find the phenotypic and genotypic ratio are different. For example, when you take the Mendel's monohybrid cross, the phenotypic ratio is 3 tall plants, 1 dwarf plant, whereas the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So both are different. 3:1 is different from 1:2:1. But here in case of incomplete dominance, you could see both the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio are the same. So when phenotypically you could see 1 red flower, 2 pink flower and 1 white flower. So the phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Whereas in case of genotypic ratio, you could see 1 R1, 2 R1, and 1 R2. So both are same. So from this we conclude that the alleles themselves remain discrete and unaltered. So the alleles are remaining discrete. So by this we are once again proving Mendel's law of segregation. Okay, because if the alleles have mixed to form the F1 generation, again we would have not got the parental type at all in F2 generation. So once again I repeat, so if it has, the alleles has got blended. Okay, so here you could see the intermediate phenotype pink. If the alleles have got blended in the F2 generation, there is no possibility of production of the parental phenotypes. But here you could see again in F2 generation, you could see the parental appearance of parental phenotype. So it is very clear there is no blending of genes. So in F2 generation, R1 and R2 genes segregate and recombine to produce red, pink and white in the ratio of 1:2:1. So let's see again in detail about the alleles. So R1 allele code for an enzyme responsible for the formation of red pigment. So when R1 is there, the flower will be red in color. R2 allele codes for defective enzyme. So here there is no enzyme, so there is no pigment, so the flower is white. So in case of this pink flower, it has got R1, R2. So it has not got enough R1 to produce the pink flower. So only when 2 R1 is found, the flower will be red in color. So here only 1 R1 is there. So the flower color is pink. So if blending had taken place, the original pure traits would have not appeared in F2 plants. So I told you in previous slide, so blending would have taken place. In F2 plants, all should have been pink flower. But we have seen that the original parental flower color red and white reappeared in F2. So which proves no blending of genes. Let's see the molecular reason in detail. The gene expression is explained in a quantitative way here. So quantitative is nothing but the amount. So wild type allele is a functional allele when present in 2 copies. That is, when 2 R1 is there only, the functional enzyme will be produced and resulting in the flower color as red. So only when 2 R1 is found, the flower color will be red. And the mutant allele, so due to genetic mutation, when the 2 copies of R2, if it is found, the enzyme cannot be produced, so there is no pigment, hence the flower color is white. So in case of F1 intermediate phenotype, that is heterozygote R1, R2, it has 1 copy of R1. So only 50% of the functional protein is present. So the pigment of red flowered plant, that is 50%, is not sufficient to make the flower color red. So the flower color obtained was only pink. So which is an intermediate phenotypic heterozygote. The next concept, so we have seen about incomplete dominance. Next is codominance. So this pattern occurs due to simultaneous, that is joint expression of both alleles in the heterozygote. So that is, here you could see the Camellia species in flower. So red and white. Here you could see in the F1 generation, both red also is there and white is also expressed. So this is referred to as codominance. The phenomenon in which 2 alleles are both expressed in the heterozygous individual is called as codominance. Example, red and white flowers of Camellia. So the phenotypic and genotypic ratio is same, 1:2:1. So this is referred to as codominance. So other examples of codominance apart from Camellia, inheritance of sickle cell hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is nothing but a pigment which is found in red blood cell. So in case of normal blood cell, so here you could see these are all the normal blood cell. Here you could see these are the sickle cells. So they will be having in case of a different type of hemoglobin in case of sickle cell anemic patients. So the next example for codominance is, so why the sickle cell hemoglobin is an example for codominance? Here you could see the inheritance of both the normal blood cells along with the sickle cells. And the next example for codominance is the ABO blood group system in human beings. And in ABO blood group system, you could find 4 different blood groups, A, B, AB and O. So AB blood group is an example for codominance. So here you could see, I have given you as an example 4 different blood type. So blood type A, if it has got A antigen, A blood type. If it has got B antigen, B blood type. And if it has got not neither of the antigen, then it is called as O blood type, and if it has got both A and B antigen. So here you could see both A and B antigen. So it is referred to as AB blood type. Again, it is codominance. Both A is also there, B is also there. So is an example for codominance. Next, codominance in the seed proteins of Gossypium species. So Gossypium is nothing but cotton plant. So the codominance was demonstrated in these plants with the help of electrophoresis or chromatography. So this is the electrophoresis of the seed proteins of F1 hybrid. So they have taken two different species of Gossypium. Gossypium hirsutum is crossed with Gossypium sturtianum. So it is crossed, and in the F1 hybrid Gossypium species exhibits codominance. So we can see from their banding patterns. So when you see the banding patterns of this cotton plant, you could observe the codominance. Next, the heterozygote genotypes gives rise to a phenotype distinctly from either of the homozygous genotypes. So the F1 heterozygote produces F2 progeny in a phenotypic and genotypic ratio of 1:2:1. So again, once again, let's see the banding pattern in case of Gossypium plant. So the F1 hybrid was tested for seed proteins by electrophoresis. Both the parents have different banding pattern for their seed protein. So here you can see the banding pattern of Gossypium hirsutum, and the next you can see the banding pattern of Gossypium sturtianum. So in case of F1 hybrid, you could see both the different kinds of banding patterns are obtained, and their hybrid shows presence of both the types of protein similar to that of the parents. So hence it is referred to as codominance. The next intragenic gene interaction we are going to see is lethal alleles. So we have completed two different kinds. One is incomplete dominance, the second is codominance. We are going to see in another type of intragenic gene interaction, which is lethal alleles. So lethal is nothing but it can lead to death. The term lethal refers to can cause death. An allele which has the potential to cause death of an organism is called lethal allele. So in 1907, E. Barr, that is Erwin Barr, so he reported a lethal gene in the plant called snapdragon. The common name is snapdragon, and it is binomial is Antirrhinum. So Antirrhinum species. So in this plant only he observed the presence of the lethal gene. So it is an example for recessive lethality. So I will tell you what is recessive lethality when I explain about the plants in the upcoming slide. So in snapdragon, there are three kinds of plants. One is green plants with the chlorophyll. So in case of green plants, it has got chlorophyll. So the genotype is capital C, capital C. In yellowish green plants with the carotenoids, they are referred to as pale green plants or golden plants or aurea plants. So their pigment is carotenoid pigment, and the genotype is capital C, small c. And in case of white plants, they do not have any chlorophyll. It is small c, small c. So these are the three different kinds of plants in snapdragon. One is green plants with the genotype capital C, capital C. One is aurea plant, capital C, small c. One is white plant, small c, small c. Now let's see what is that recessive lethality. I told you I'll be telling you about what is recessive lethality. So to understand that, first we can look at the cross. The aurea plant. What is the genotype of the aurea plant? Capital C, small c. This is the genotype of the aurea plant. When the aurea plant having the genotype, when two aurea plants are crossed, Their F1 progeny has identical phenotypic and genotypic ratio. So what is the identical phenotypic and genotypic ratio? 1 green plant, 2 aurea plant and 1 white plant. Since the white plant lack chlorophyll pigment. So I told you white plant do not have chlorophyll pigment. So due to the absence of chlorophyll pigment, they cannot survive. So this is referred to as lethal. So since the recessive, when the recessive condition is found, so which is recessive here? Small c is the recessive. Only when the recessive condition is found, there is no chlorophyll, so the plant cannot survive. So this condition is referred to as recessive lethality. Due to the presence of this recessive genes, it leads to the death. So it is referred to as recessive lethality. So when this plant is not going to survive, what will be the modified F2 ratio? It is just 1:2 because this plant is not going to survive. So the modified F2 ratio is 1:2. The term lethal is applied to those changes in the genotype of an organism which produces effects severe enough to cause death. And lethality is a condition in which death of certain genotype occurs prematurely. And the fully dominant or fully recessive lethal allele kills the carrier individual only in its homozygous condition. That is, if one small c is found and it cannot lead to death because there is one dominant allele, capital C is there, so it will not lead to the death of the individual. Only if it is in homozygous condition, the recessive allele is in homozygous condition, it will lead to the death of the individual. So this is about recessive lethality in case of snapdragon. So we have seen the third type of intragenic gene interaction about the lethal genes. Next we are going to see the last kind of intragenic interaction, which is pleiotrophy. So pleiotrophy is nothing but a single gene is responsible for multiple traits. So one gene is responsible for many different kind of traits. One gene is responsible for many different kinds of traits is referred to as pleiotrophy. A single gene affects multiple traits and alter the phenotype of the organism. So the pleiotrophic gene influences a number of characters simultaneously, and such genes are called pleiotrophic genes. So Mendel noticed pleiotrophy while performing breeding experiment with the pea plant Pisum sativum. So he observed pea with purple flower, so that is purple color of the flower, brown seed and dark spot on the leaf axil were crossed with a variety of peas having white flowers, light colored seed and no spot on the axil of the leaves. The three traits for flower color, seed color and a leaf axil spot all were inherited together as a single unit. So this is due to the pattern of inheritance where three traits were controlled by a single gene with dominant and recessive allele. So this gene is responsible for multiple traits. One is the purple flower, number 2 brown seed, number 3 dark spot on the leaf axil. So this diagrammatic representation will not be there in the textbook. So this is very useful. So with this you can understand pleiotrophy very well. So the single gene is going to have multiple trait. Single gene is going to affect multiple trait. What are the three different traits in case of noticed by Mendel in its breeding experiment with pea plant? He noticed three different traits. One is purple color of flower, brown seed and dark spots on leaf axil. So this effect is referred to as pleiotrophy. So that's it. We have seen about intragenic gene interaction. So under intragenic gene interaction, we have seen about incomplete dominance in case of Mirabilis jalapa plant studied by Carl Correns, and then we learnt about the codominance. So codominance with the different examples. One is in camellia flower we have seen the codominance, and another one is in sickle cell hemoglobin, and next one is ABO blood group. and we learnt about the lethal genes in Snapdragon plant. And number 4, we have learnt about the pleiotropy, how a single gene is going to affect multiple traits. So with this, we are coming to the end of today's class, intragenic gene interaction. Hope you understood about intragenic gene interaction. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.